really feels great to be there. Fun fact that Google Bangalore and Samsung Bangalore share the same tech park, like they are in the same tech park. So if you have that eye for problem solving, then engineering is one field that you should definitely choose because floor where we have one napping room, right? So that room has like dim lighting and like it feels like a place where you can have a romantic date or stuff. It's that kind of
Hello and welcome to Ajab interview ki Gazab Kahani. Today we have a very special guest with us, Dev Surya. Let us hear about him from him only. So Dev, I want you to introduce yourself, but something that not many people know about you.
a so hi everyone. So my name is Dev Surya. I'm currently working in Samsung Research Institute and I'm a 2021 graduate from Delhi Technological University. And coming to the second part of your question, something that many people do not know about me. As an engineer, I think I have great interest in other like the extracurricular activities as well. Like I have great interest in music and sports. So that is about the extracurricular side. And if I come to academics or if I come to the professional part of it, so I feel that I have that ability to handle difficult situations well. So I feel that I have that innate ability to stay calm under some really tough situations.
Okay. So since you have joined Samsung, what was that one thing about the company that really made you think that I should join Samsung or I would be the right fit for the company?
Okay, so one thing about Samsung is that all might be aware about it as well, that they have that great drive for innovation. So Samsung is one company that always comes up with some new ideas. Whether it works or does not work, that is secondary, but it always tries something new in the market. So I feel that I have that similar kind of curiosity in myself that I want to try new ideas. Does not matter if it fails or not. That was one thing that really excited me about Samsung. And also another thing is that Samsung has a really wide variety of products. If you see, like they work on many domains, not just like we are working in tech, but even outside of tech, it is in many fields. So that really excited me as well about this company. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So my next question is, how was your first day in Samsung? What was it like?
So it was a really memorable day. First of all, when I entered the premises, I was like awestruck because feels great to be there since I had been working, but I was working virtually before that. So it was great to actually go to the office. Samsung is an R&D institute, right? So we have to go through more security checks than we actually have to go through at the airport. So it was a different experience in itself. Then getting to meet your peers that you have been seeing only on Zoom meetings was also very interesting. And yeah, it was great.
Great. So, there's this huge buzz about the Google campus and the Google space. So, is Samsung any different from the Google space, the working space, the infrastructure
And
and the facilities that they provide?
so actually, one fun fact that Google Bangalore and Samsung Bangalore share the same tech park, like they are in the same tech park. So okay, so that's one thing in common. Other than that, I think the all these companies like Samsung, Google, they provide all the facilities an employee can ever ask for. Like we have everything right from the things that help us in working, having a good working atmosphere, to also the things that help us to relax and chill at the same time. For example, we have one floor where we have one napping room, right? So that room has like dim lighting and like it feels like a place where you can have a romantic date or stuff. It's that kind of a place, and there people can just go and nap of an hour or two, relax. Like we have such places. Then yeah, we have all the things that we can ask for. Like we have a spa room, we have all the courts like badminton courts, cricket net, everything that yeah. So It's a
Great.
good experience to work from office.
That sounds really fun. So my next question is, how was your interview like for the Samsung company?
Basically, we had 3 rounds of interviews. So I joined Samsung from on campus. Okay, so Samsung came to our campus for hiring. Was in my final year, fourth year. So there are basically one online assessment followed by 3 rounds of interviews. Okay, so the online assessment was like it had 2 questions, 2 coding questions. So if I go into the specifics, then those questions were from trees. We had to solve those questions, and after that we had like a short list of around 30 to 40 people, and then we had the interviews. So the first round of the interview was the technical round. So in that round we basically had questions from coding from different topics. I think I was asked 2 questions. One was from HashMap and one was from DP. So yeah, first round was about that. Then we had another round. They went more in depth into the technical side. So they asked these coding questions as well as from the CS fundamentals like OOPS, operating systems, DBMS, and yeah. So we had questions from that also. Also, they also asked puzzles. So that round was a bit lengthy. And after that, we had the third round. The third round was basically the HR round. So we asked normal questions, like it was HR/managerial round. So yeah.
Okay. So, as you said, there are many difficulties and many thoughts that pop up in the student's mind where they're about to give the interview. So, what advice would you give them? Like two, three advice that will actually help them before their interviews.
Don't think too far ahead, and don't hesitate. Whatever solution you have in your mind, or whatever your thinking is, one thing what students do is that whenever they're asked a question and they're not too sure about the solution, they just go quiet. So the interviewer never likes that. So they will keep telling you that just tell whatever is coming in your mind, right? So even if you don't know the solution completely, you at least have to tell them what you're thinking. So in that way, you are able to, firstly you are able to communicate with the interviewer. Secondly, the interviewer also helps you because the interviewer also wants to get to the solution. They are there to help you. They are not there to sabotage your progress, right? So you have to communicate. So I would advise the students is that you should not be shy about communicating with your interviewer. And no matter how the interview is going, if it's going according to plan or not. Okay. The second thing is, whatever company you are going for the interview, have some basic idea about that company, what that company is doing, what is the domain in which they are working. It really helps you to answer some of the questions if you actually have a knowledge about the vision of the company. So that is one thing. So as it was my first interview, I was really nervous. Okay, so I was anxious to give them a right answer. So that was the thing. And like things were slipping away from my hand and I was not able to answer the questions that they were asking. So what I did was I asked the interviewer to ask me a question from a certain topic from myself. I told them that you can ask me a question from this topic, but they had not asked me. So that was something we should not do. We should not tell the interviewer what they have to do. Okay. So yeah.
Great. So, viewers, Dave has just told you what to do and what not to do. So, just keep it in mind. And moving to the next question, is there any advice for the viewers, basically one who are just about to take up engineering? So,
First of all, there is a perception that it's not a field that you should choose and you have to struggle a lot in this field. But for me, engineering is not just a field. So the world we see around us is full of problems, right? Wherever you see there, you can see a problem, you can identify a problem. Have that desire in you to solve problems. And if you have that eye for problem solving, then engineering is one field that you should definitely choose because what we do is you will always have something exciting coming up. Also, the technology is changing so rapidly that you would have to keep upskilling yourself. You have to keep, so you will never be bored in your profession. Basically, that is what I mean to say. And if you have a drive for something interesting, then engineering will never like disappoint you.
so you just mentioned that software engineers and computer engineers are in great demand. So, what qualities should a candidate have in himself so that he can say, I'm the right fit for this field?
as I covered in the last question as well, like you should have a sense of curiosity in you. So if you have that sense of curiosity, then you will always identify problems and you will always think of solutions to solve those problems. So that is what true software engineer does. So a person can be a good coder, but he might not be a good software engineer. So a good software engineer is one who does not only know how to go to the solution, he knows what he understands the problem statement completely. A good software engineer should have that understands the problem statement correctly. So in this way, he can solve many problems and he can even create his own problem statements and solve those problems. Like all the innovative things that you see around yourself is only because a certain person thought about it, that this problem should be solved. If everybody just followed routine things, then those problems would never be solved. So yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So Dev, tell us about the tools that you use while preparing for the interviews.
Okay, so first of all, there are some really good websites that students can refer to. One common one I think every student is aware of is Geeks for Geeks. In that website, there is a different section of every company. Okay, so you can go to Samsung, you can go and see the question Samsung actually asked. You can also see the interview experience of different people who have applied for Samsung. So that helps a lot. Also, there are sections 50 must do coding questions. Okay, so you can just go to that and check out the questions. That will give you a very good idea. Like you can practice those things just pre-interview, right? Some days before the interview. But overall, there are many good websites for students who are currently in first or second year. First, they should get into the background of coding. तो कुछ कुछ ऐसे वेबसाइट्स होते हैं जैसे फेमस वंस जैसे लीड कोड हो गया, ओके, कोड शेफ हो गया, हैकर रैंक हो गया, इंटरव्यू बिट हो गया. ये सब कुछ कुछ ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि किस तरीके क्वेश्चंस कंपनीज पूछती हैं. एट द सेम टाइम आप अपना प्रोग्रेस देख सकते हो कि आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर पा रहे हो, कितने देर में कर पा रहे हो, एंड आप कैसे अपनी टाइमिंग बेटर कर सकते हो, कैसे आप अपना सोल्यूशन मोर रिफाइन कर सकते हो. तो इस तरीके से ये प्लेटफॉर्म पे यू कैन चेक आउट. ऑल्सो गीक फॉर गीक्स पे एसीएस फंडामेंटल्स होते हैं जैसे ऊप्स हो गया, डीबीएमएस हो गया, ओएस हो गया. इसके भी आप क्वेश्चंस देख सकते हो क्योंकि these questions are also being asked by these companies. Also, Geek for Geeks has puzzles. वो भी पूछते हैं कंपनीज. पजल्स पूछते हैं आपकी थिंकिंग एबिलिटी चेक करने के लिए कि आप कितने जल्दी रिएक्ट करते हो, तो वो भी आप चेक कर सकते हो. तो आई थिंक देयर आर मेनी टूल्स जिसको आप कर सकते हो. बट वन थिंग जो आपको ध्यान रखनी है, जैसे हम 11th 12th में नहीं होता था कि हम अगर पहले हम एनसीईआरटी सॉल्व करेंगे फिर हम हायर लेवल्स पे जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो पहले हमको अपना बेस स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है. ठीक है, फर्स्टली आप अपना बेस स्ट्रॉन्ग करो, फिर धीरे धीरे आप अपना लेवल अप करते जाओ. प्रैक्टिस एज मेनी कोडिंग क्वेश्चंस एज पॉसिबल, डोंट रश इट. ऐसा नहीं करते ना हम कि एक दिन खाना नहीं खाया और दूसरे दिन हमने 5 times खाना खा लिया. ठीक है, तो मेक अ हैबिट, मेक गीक्स फॉर गीक्स और सम लाइक गीक्स फॉर गीक्स यू कैन मेक लाइक योर गो टू प्लेस. ओके, आप बस चेक करते रहो, आप क्वेश्चंस देखते रहो, आप सोचते रहो, सोल्यूशन सोचते रहो. एक हैबिट बना लो जहाँ पे आप रिलीजियसली 2 क्वेश्चन हर दिन कर रहे हो. ठीक है, इफ यू मेक दिस अ हैबिट अर्ली ऑन, मतलब आप सेकेंड ईयर फर्स्ट ईयर में बनाते हो, तो फिर आप बहुत अच्छे से प्रोग्रेस करते हो. फिर उसके बाद आप इम्प्रूव योर लेवल स्लोली एंड स्लोली. फिर आपको मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा कि लास्ट मोमेंट पे करना पड़े. तो या गेट इनटू गुड हैबिट्स, आई वुड सजेस्ट. या
दैट वाज अ ग्रेट एडवाइस और वो जो आपने टूल्स बताए वो भी आई थिंक सबको हेल्प करेंगे. देयर वर मेनी टूल्स एक्चुअली. तो मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, सैमसंग में यू हैव मेड इट बिग नाउ, बट इससे पहले आपने बहुत सारे इंटरव्यूज दिए होंगे एंड देयर मस्ट हैव बीन मेनी फेलियर्स एज वेल. सो टेल अस अबाउट दैट.
ओके, सो सैमसंग वाज नॉट माय फर्स्ट कंपनी जिसके लिए मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया था. एंड आई वुड लाइक टू टेल द स्टूडेंट्स इज दैट इवन द students who make it to the biggest companies, they go through a lot of rejection. So if you open LinkedIn, you see only the stories of people who have excelled, right? Who have cracked a company, but they don't tell you about the 10 companies they were rejected like from. It was the same for me. So I went through some interviews before, and yeah, there were different kinds of failures. Like initially जो मेरा पहला इंटरव्यू था उसमें तो आई डिड नॉट नो कि मैं अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कैसे करूं. मतलब मैं बहुत ज्यादा ही नर्वस हो गया था, जो कि बहुत नेचुरल है. मैं नर्वस हो गया था. मेरे को अगर आंसर पता, शुरू में मेरे को एक दो आंसर्स नहीं पता थे, सोल्यूशन नहीं पता थे, तो मैं बिल्कुल उसी समय पे नर्वस हो गया था एंड मैं ओवर ट्राई करने लगा था कि मतलब मैं अब जल्दी से सोल्यूशन बता दूं दूसरे क्वेश्चन का. एंड इसके चक्कर में मैं प्रोसेस फॉलो नहीं कर पा रहा था. like I was not able to explain myself to the interviewer, जो कि बहुत important होता है. The interviewer basically wants to see कि आपने on the spot सोचा है. वो ये नहीं चाहते कि आपको ऑलरेडी रटा रटाया सोल्यूशन है. लाइक ओके, सो अगर आपने क्वेश्चन देख भी रखा है ना पहले से, सो यू हैव टू बेसिकली टेल द इंटरव्यूअर अच्छे से कि डिफरेंट अप्रोचेस बताने होते हैं आपको. यू हैव टू टेल ऑल द अप्रोचेस, नॉट जस्ट द बेस्ट सोल्यूशन. ओके, सो वो मैं नहीं कर पा रहा था. मैं जो आंसर पता थे वो भी मैं जल्दी से बता दे रहा था. एंड ये सारी चीजें थी. तो फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस तो ऐसा था कि आई थॉट कि मतलब बहुत बुरा गया. बट एक चीज जो मैंने फॉलो की थी थ्रू द प्लेसमेंट सीजन वाज दैट कि आपको हर इंटरव्यू से कुछ सीखना है. मतलब आप फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू से परफेक्ट नहीं हो सकते, बट आपको हर इंटरव्यू से एक चीज सीखनी है, वो गलती दूसरे इंटरव्यू में नहीं होनी चाहिए. ऐसे कर करके आप अपनी गलतियों को मिनिमाइज कर सकते हो, ताकि आप फाइनली मतलब एक पॉइंट पे ऐसा हो जाएगा कि जब आपकी गलतियां बहुत कम रह जाएंगी एंड यू विल बी एबल टू क्रैक इंटरव्यू. ओके, सो एक और चीज थी लाइक आस्किंग अबाउट फेलियर्स. तो आई एम अ 2021 ग्रेजुएट, राइट? तो माय प्लेसमेंट सीजन वाज जस्ट आफ्टर कोविड, एंड के सीजन में ही मेरा पूरा प्लेसमेंट सीजन था. तो लाइक इससे पहले वाला ईयर जो जितने भी प्ले थे मेरे पास गाइड्स, जैसे गाइड्स होता है ना कि यू कैन रीड अबाउट द इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस, यू कैन बेसिकली टेक अ लीफ आउट ऑफ दोज एक्सपीरियंसेस, दोज थिंग्स. बट मेरे टाइम पे सारी चीजें चेंज हो गई थी. सारी चीजें ऑफलाइन से ऑनलाइन हो गई थी, एंड इट वाज नॉट दैट इजी टू बेसिकली अंडरस्टैंड द चेंज इनिशियली. So I had to go through a lot of small failure, like a lot of setbacks and failures along the way. Had in mind was that कि आपको सीखते रहना है, क्योंकि जो ये पूरा प्रोसेस है ना, इवन आप प्लेस एक बार आप प्लेस हो गए हो, इट डज नॉट एंड देयर. लाइक इट इज अ होल प्रोसेस. सो बेसिकली एडवाइस द यंगर वंस कि अभी आप मतलब अभी आप यंग हो, अभी आप गलतियां करके सीखो, ताकि लाइक आप अपनी गलतियां मिनिमाइज कर सको. एंड इंटरव्यू में आप जितनी कम गलतियां करोगे उतना आपका चांसेस अच्छा होता है. सो या.
Very well said. So my next question is, company में ऐसे कुछ typical questions होते हैं, जैसे कि tell us about your strengths and weaknesses, tell us something about yourself. So अगर मुझे efficiently कोई आंसर देना है, अगर मुझे सारे candidates से stand out करना है ये आंसर देके, so what would be that answer be like?
Okay, so as I told you, को अपने what you have written in your resume and you should have a good idea about it. So जो भी questions होते हैं वो resume के इन अराउंड ही होवर करते हैं, वो बाहर नहीं जाते हैं. ठीक है. So जैसे आप जैसे you told कि strength and weaknesses बताने हैं, तो जो आपका resume है ना, उसमें आपके strength और weaknesses आपको पता चल मतलब आप उसके अकॉर्डिंग बता सकते हो. एक और चीज होती है कि स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस वाले क्वेश्चन में आपको वीकनेस में भी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ ही बतानी होती है, बट आपको उसको थोड़ा रिफाइन करके बताना होता है. तो आप उस तरीके से बता सकते हो. जैसे मैं एग्जांपल दूं तो आप इस तरीके ये बोल सकते हो अपनी, आप इस चीज को अपनी वीकनेस दिखा सकते हो, किसी पॉजिटिव क्वालिटी को. जैसे आप बोल सकते हो कि मेरे को कोई भी टास्क को परफेक्टली करना अच्छा लगता है. So like I take a little time in completing my task, but I because मैं कोई भी अगर प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा हूँ तो मैं बस उसको करने के लिए नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं कुछ सीखने के लिए कर रहा हूँ, मैं उससे कुछ आगे अपना स्किल ऐड करना चाहता हूँ. तो फिर मैं थोड़ा टाइम ले लेता हूँ. तो इट इज इन इटसेल्फ अ गुड क्वालिटी, बट आप उसको एक वीकनेस की तरह बता रहे हो, तो आपको इस तरीके से ही मतलब करना होता है. एंड या एंड जो भी आपको अपने बारे में बताना है, जैसे जो क्वेश्चन होता है कि टेल अबाउट योरसेल्फ, सो यू हैव टू नॉट ओनली टेल अबाउट द टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स अपने बारे में, but you also have to tell about the other things that you do. Basically, the companies want to ask you what you can bring to the table, and it is not only the technical skills, because as an undergrad, when you are in the final year of your college, you are just you don't have any experience of industry, and so the companies don't only want to see the coding skills, they also want to see your potential, your attitude, and how you will be able to cope up with difficult situations, because an industry you will always have difficult situations, right? And you will have times where you have to take complete responsibility and solve the problem independently. So they see those things as well. So उस हिसाब से आपको बेसिकली एक्सप्रेस करना है अपने आप को.
Okay. Apart from all the questions that I've asked, is there something that you would like to add to this entire thing?
Okay, so I feel the whole placement thing and the whole thing about engineering is that they have certain times, you will have certain situations when you will feel that it is tough and मैंने क्यों चूज कर लिया इंजीनियरिंग. ओके, को क्या करना है, आपको बेसिकली काम रहना है, क्योंकि देखो इवन प्लेसमेंट के टाइम पे ऐसे सिचुएशंस बहुत सेटबैक्स आते हैं. आप आपका फ्रेंड भी प्लेसमेंट में आपके साथ बैठा है, राइट? सो ऐसा हो सकता है कि आप रह गए हो एंड आपका फ्रेंड किसी अच्छी कंपनी में प्लेस हो गया है, एंड देन यू विल हैव दैट थिंग वेयर यू वुड फील कि क्या मैं पीछे रह गया हूँ, या थिंग्स लाइक दोस. यू विल हैव सेल्फ डाउट, यू विल हैव सेटबैक्स, यू विल हैव एवरी इमोशन गो. ओके, बट एक क्वालिटी जो आपको हमेशा रखनी है कि आपको काम रहना है. यू शुड हैव अ सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज जिससे आप स्टैंड करते हो, ठीक है? एंड आपको वो वाली चीज छोड़नी नहीं है. आप यू नो हाउ यू फंक्शन, मतलब आपको ये पता है कि आप कैसे फंक्शन करते हो, एंड यू नो व्हाट योर स्ट्रेंथ्स आर. ओके, सो यू हैव टू स्टिक बाय दोज थिंग्स. एंड कोई कुछ भी बोले आपको ज्यादा मतलब सुनना नहीं है, एंड यू जस्ट हैव टू बेसिकली टू बी काम एंड प्रोसेस फॉलो करते रहो, एंड यस यू लैंड इन अ गुड प्लेस होपफुली.
So, it was great talking to you. I'm sure you added so much value to the people's, and I hope their questions get answered. So, thank you so much, Dave, for this interview. It was great having you here. Would you like to say a few
Thank
words?
you. Yeah, it was great talking to you, and like the questions are very nice, and I hope I could add some value to the students who are watching this. So yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.